Well, we're here with Brent Saunders of Allergan. Brent, thank you for taking a few minutes.
Thanks you for having me. It's great to be here.
And I want to follow up on your plans for the future. You've made some great acquisitions of late of earlier stage companies. Brought TrueTier out after buying Oculeave, bought Foresight Company. How are you viewing the early stage space? Are there still places where you want to grow?
Yeah, so I would say Allergan is very committed first and foremost to eye care. It's our heritage. We've been in the business 70 years, and it's an area with still a huge unmet medical need, and so we need to continue to invest. The early stage deals we've done in the last few years have really worked out in ophthalmology, so that gives me a lot of enthusiasm to continue to look at early stage deals. In fact, we have a whole business development team here at OIS and then AAO for the rest of the weekend, meeting and looking at all sorts of new technologies. So very focused on it and very committed to it.
So your comment about your commitment to ophthalmology, I guess that's a counter to some of the conversations about whether there'd be a breakup of Allergan. I know you said there wouldn't be in an analyst call. Can we take that as a commitment that you're here to stay?
Yeah, so we are not pursuing or thinking about a breakup. We think we have a great strategy for the company as it stands today. And look, we had a loss of a very important product exclusivity, right, with Restasis. But that in and of itself is not a reason to change your strategy. In the biopharmaceutical world, loss of exclusivities, loss of patents is part of the life cycle. It's an unfortunate part of the life cycle, but that's something we'll have to deal with, and we're not going to change strategy merely as a result of that.
In a recent call regarding Restasis, it was mentioned that you would find places to cut if you had to offset any sort of losses. Is that something you feel would be felt externally by ophthalmologists, or?
Yeah, I really hope not. Look, the whole company is going to have to tighten its belt and look for ways to offset some of the loss of a big product like Restasis when a generic enters the market. And so we'll look across the entire company, not just eye care, and really everything we do, we try to do with a customer focus. So I really hope that ophthalmologists and eye care professionals don't feel any impact from it. If they do, they have the right to email me and we can talk about it.
Or you're on Twitter.
Or they can tweet with me, yes. But no, I do want to hear, and as you know, you will blast this out probably, if people do feel that change, if and when it happens, we should know about it.
Well, are you hearing anything from the ophthalmologists about Restasis and that whole conversation? As you've obviously heard things from Wall Street and other quarters, but how about within the ophthalmology sector?
No, in fact, you know, the dry eye market continues to perform well overall. The market continues to grow. Restasis is growing faster than the market. A few weeks since the decision's been out, doesn't make a trend, but the product continues to perform incredibly well, which means ophthalmologists are voting with their prescription pad. They like the product, they like what it does for their patients.
Excellent. Going back to innovation, we're at our point where this is number 9, we're doing number 10 next year of OIS at AAO. You've been in this sector for a long time. How has ophthalmology changed over this past decade that there has been an OIS? Not that I'm connecting any of it to us,
right.
But.
Well, I think this meeting is symbolic of a lot of the great things that have been happening in ophthalmology. I remember coming to this meeting several years ago, and what it is today, it's just remarkable how it's evolved, and I think that's true of the whole profession, right? The use of technologies, the innovators that come here, the venture capital guys that come here, the big company guys, the small company folks. It really is a community, and I think in this community, like we see at this great meeting OIS, everybody trying to work together to solve problems, to figure out where is the next innovation, where should we invest to help patients, and what new promising treatments and products and diagnostics and technologies are going to help people.
I'm hearing a lot more talk about digital here than I have in years past. I know we've had portions of an agenda dedicated to digital, but a lot of the time in the Masters panel was spent on that. With that being said, 10 years from now, what is Allergan going to be selling into the ophthalmology market? What will it look like?
Yeah, I mean, my hope is we'll be selling cutting-edge, novel technologies. We've recently spending a lot of money in gene editing, and my guess is gene therapies in 10 years will really become a mainstay of how we actually cure disease versus treat disease. And so I think we'll be in a really exciting time. That being said, we may not be doing it as much with sales reps or television commercials. We may be doing it with more digital media. We may be doing it more with digital connections with our customers and things like that. So I think the next decade for both science and technology and the way we work is going to be incredibly exciting.
You may be having a virtual OIS by that point.
Right, you may be doing this interview we could be doing.
That's right, we don't have to be in the same room. Just a final question, any other early R&D projects at Allergan you want to highlight and let folks know about?
Yeah, so we have a lot in development. We have Bimatoprost SR, we have the periocular ring for glaucoma in development, but more importantly, at the end of this year, we'll learn a lot more about our anti-VEGF or DARPin, Abisapar. And we should get some readouts from our big phase 3 study at the end of the year. Hopefully we can achieve a 12-week dosing regimen in a safe and efficacious way. But we won't know until we get the data.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing those results. I'm sure they'll be positive, and we'll see you at a future OIS.
Great. Well, thank you for having me.